Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Whoa, what a game. What a game. Welcome, everybody, to the Tuss Talk with Ty Postgame live show. It's the best postgame show around, period. That's right. We do it big time over here. And Arkansas, golly, love just beating OU. Sweet. You get the clean sweep beating OU twice in a year. That's great, man. OU turned it around this year. Moser, I would guess, probably out at Oklahoma. I don't know. If I'm them, I'm probably keeping him another year. OU basketball, So I think had they advanced and maybe won tomorrow, play for the SEC championship, maybe he would have a shot at for sure keeping his job. But there's no doubt OU is playing desperate today, and honestly, you got to tip your cap to them. OU did everything they could to either hang on to a lead or make it so Arkansas just could not pull away, especially obviously in the second half. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button if you're just coming in here, and I don't just say that. Please don't let that in one ear and out the other. Actually do it. It really helps the channel. Consider, doing that thing at the bottom of the screen that says Join Tuss Talk with Ty Patreon today. I think it'd be a really good idea. Helps the channel out big time. Or if you're already a member, consider jumping up. Okay. All right. I appreciate the people hopping in here. Oklahoma acting like Alabama out there, flopping like crazy. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There was. I thought it was interesting that they were letting both sides play for a little bit. It got a little physical. Never got chippy, as far as I could tell. I think there might have been something kind of off camera where there might have been a little bit of jawing, maybe a little bit, nothing too serious. But it was physical. When you have guys that just play dumb on defense and always act like they're innocent, like Ewan. Ewan is just boy, what a game, and I don't mean that in like a great way for him. I don't mean that in like a, hey, wow, what a game. No. I good Lord. I mean, it's kind of sad when you're like, hey, Pringle actually, made a couple of rebounds there consecutively. He's acting like he wants to crash the boards a little bit. So much ball watching too today. Like it's frustrating sometimes to watch. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Arkansas's defense. It's two sides of a frustrating coin. It's like the offense is spectacular. They're so difficult to stop. Thanks to Acuff, who had himself a ball game. More on that in a second. For those of you that only watched the game, weren't really keeping up with the numbers, we've got them. Obviously, we're going to do the gold chain here in a minute. But I don't think there's any question where that's going tonight. But yeah, I had too much ball watching tonight. And so on the flip side of that same damn coin, it is bad defense. I will say, I thought they did a pretty good job of altering some shots at the rim. Brazil today had a couple of blocks with 6 offensive rebounds. The rebounding in the first half was bad. It was bad. I mean, it was I think OU was +8 going in at half on rebounds. It's either +8 or +7, something. Just not good. Just not good. It just wasn't that good, y'all. The rebounding was atrocious in the first half. It was bad. And then they picked it up in the second half, and that was kind of the difference there, I think. I think the rebounding, going after the offensive boards, and getting some points, getting some second chance points. Although we can't, this is what sucks when you do these neutral site games. I can't pull specific stats. So I don't have all the deep inside stats on this one. I hate that. I was trying to pull it up, couldn't find it. But, it is what it is. Oh, we got some super chats rolling in. Look at you guys bringing in the super chats. Christopher Cox says that shit from Acuff with 5 seconds on the shot clock was nasty. Best guard to ever play at Arkansas. Fishman with a $5 super chat says, there goes that man. Mama, there goes that man. Darius Acuff. That is right. Appreciate those super chats. They always take priority. I appreciate you guys. Haven't had those in a while. Appreciate it. Kerper says Acuff is daddy. James 870 says Auburn is horrible. Well, James, who was sitting here even after they spanked Arkansas and said they are the Midburn Tigers? You have no business losing that game like that. You have no business losing to Auburn like that. None. But anyways, that was then. This is now. So let's pull up the old. Well, you know what? Let's wait to do that. We're gonna pull up the SEC, but we're gonna wait to. What's up, Frederick Clemens? How you doing, man? Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell because I will be live tomorrow for this. I'm gonna be busy. I hope I'm busy all weekend. Who is this 11% saying no? So the poll is up. It's settled. That's the suggestion here by the poll. Acuff, greatest Razorback hooper ever. 89% of you are at yes. 89% of you. And 11%. I want to know, for you 11%ers, hey, tell me who's better. Tell me who's better. I want to know. Who's better? It's insane. Did you see that shot? That was insane. David Scott says, way too early to say Acuff is the greatest hog, but his stats so far are outstanding with being in the likes of Pete Maravich. Chill on that? No, David. We're not chilling on anything, my friend. Absolutely not. I think if he continues to play like this, in terms of like the big games coming up. Now tomorrow's going to be big. We're going to talk about that one. And then if he continues to play this way once you get into the NCAA tournament, I don't care if he's one and done. If he scores 30-something points, how do you deny that he's not one of the he isn't the greatest hooper ever at Arkansas? How do you deny that? Like, and we're talking just like single year here, but despite, who cares about that? Pure hooper, he's the greatest. He's the best. I agree with that. Yes, he is the best. So I got to disagree, David. Chill on that, he says. Are you out of your mind? Dude, we're in SEC tournament. It's not like we're 2 games into the season. Right, Ty, you show right, says Frederick Clemens. I appreciate that. I get the people who are like, hold on. Let's see how far this goes. I can kind of understand that because there is going to be a difference. If you are one and done, and let's say he just scores like 19, 20 points, I mean, it feels like he's just automatic. He's going to score 25 plus. But let's say he scores like 18, 19 points and he's a one and done. Yeah, his fame will it'll drip off a little bit, But looking at the numbers, looking at the wins, looking at how he put this team on his shoulders, it's awfully reminiscent of another number 5. Different sport, but it's very reminiscent of another number 5. Now, Darren McFadden had 3 years to install his greatness, right? 2-time Heisman runner-up, Doak Walker, all that stuff. And Acuff only gets the 1 year. So I understand if you're going to go with that angle too. I think it's settled. I think he is the greatest Razorback, just period. I mean, I would ask this. Without Acuff, is this team a 3 seed in the SEC tournament, and are they a 5? I know some people still think they could be a 4 seed. Are they a 5 or 4 seed? Are they in that conversation without Darius Acuff? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. Like, they are good. Don't get me wrong. We saw what they did on the road without Acuff in very hostile territory against Mizzou. But the answer is no. They're not a 5 seed. Hell, they're not a 6 seed. They're not a 7 seed without him, especially with how horrible they are on defense. And he's a part of that problem, too. I get that. His defense is what kind of holds him back. Anyways, I digress. Ty, I think the second half play by Trevon and Ewan made a big difference. Well, you got to be a little more specific than that. Hog blitz, which play? Now, Brazil had a couple. I mean, he had a couple really key blocks. Transplanted Texas as number 5. Retired the jersey in football in men's basketball. I say you make it something special. That's what I say you do with the number 5. I don't want it retired. I don't. Just like the number 12 is retired in football. Like, no. Like, I'm not a fan of retiring the numbers. What you do is you make it like a special ceremony, right? Only someone who deserves to wear that number gets it. It's got to be like a team vote. And then, maybe that player is also team captain. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Yeah, make it a legacy number. There you go. Boom. That's it. I just have never been a fan of retiring the number. And you could solidify it, right? By like putting it up on the somewhere in the rafters or whatever. You could solidify it and like, hey, number 5, Darren McFadden. And then in basketball inside Bud Walton, it's, hey, number 5, Acuff. But then you got to also honor other players too, though, right? The number 5 has got to be earned at U of A from here on out. I agree, Judd. I agree. Couldn't agree more. Acuff's night was incredible. He's going to be the talk of the town. And again, this is another thing. I've never in all my years, including now, the times were different on ESPN. That's the only channel you could keep up with sports when they would do the highlights and whatever. It's a different world. Social media will also expand upon the media coverage of greatness, right, compared to even just 10, 15 years ago. But we've never seen a Razorback. I mean, this guy now, they're talking about being a potential top 3, top 4 pick. I mean, he is exploding on everywhere. You've got NBA stars talking about him on shows. Stephen A. Smith. He is the talk of college basketball. And the argument now probably isn't, is he just the best player in the SEC? Is he the best player in college basketball, period? No matter the age, no matter the conference, no matter this and that, right? Of course, the SEC is respectable in basketball, so that's not a diss towards anybody. But that has to be the conversation now. And that's why I say he is the greatest Razorback. We have never heard anything like this. Joe Johnson was a one and done and didn't get near this kind of publicity. Again, different world. Social media expands the coverage. Some fat guy, some fat bearded guy with a microphone goes on and on about him. I'm not the only one. National coverage, the people that everyone hears from, are talking about him. He's the GOAT, dude. We're watching our version of like Allen Iverson. This is what this is. And again, like I've said before, appreciate it while you get to watch it. Now I know they got another special. They got a couple of really good players coming in next year. Fantastic players. These are big ass shoes to fill. So this is what he did tonight, okay? In the first half, he was spectacular. In the first half, he's 7 of 10 shooting, 70%. 4 of 7 outside, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 2 assists, no turnovers, 3 steals, somehow picked up a foul. I must have missed that. Again, 21 points, 7 of 10 shooting, 4 of 7 outside, 3 of 4. That was just in the first half. 21 points against Oklahoma. And I do think the rest of this team, this is what's wild to me, is Acuff is on a longer rest than the rest of these guys were. He didn't have any rust on him. Everyone else looked like they had rust on him. I mean, they were struggling, man. I mean, Leak Thomas in the first half was 0 for 5. He did have, he did have a couple of boards and assists, but he also turned the ball over 3 times. He had Leak on his own, according to ESPN, and this sounds right, Leak had 3 of the 4 first half turnovers. Leak was not that if anyone was affected by the time off rust with the double bye, it had to be Leak. I thought he just looked sloppy in the first half. But Acuff, that was in the first half alone. There are players that would love to have those kind of numbers in a full 2-half game. Leak does that, or excuse me, Acuff does that in a single first half. Just absolutely outstanding. Arkansas opens up at -8.5. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? Is it -8.5? Let me refresh this. I need to refresh it anyways. Yeah, that is what it is. ESPN DraftKings has Arkansas at -8.5. We're going to get into this game. 2:30 tip-off. We're going to get into it here in just a little bit. Boy, David is dying on that hill, isn't he? Y'all stop in all caps, he says. What did he do against Florida? Bro, like everyone is going to have a down game, David. That's not a good argument. That's not a good argument, my man. I think David might be a Florida fan, actually. Sorry I'm late, Ty. That last shot from Acuff is just unbelievable. That's what he does, man. And I don't know how many he can be clutch. We know that that's what he's capable of doing. It's just he does it all, and he's a 3-level scorer. Now, I'm going to give OU some flowers. They did a really good job at challenging everything at the rim, altering looks, even if it was something that looked like it should have been simple. Some Sooner was just jumping up and making the layup look harder than it should have been. They did a good job of just rim. I don't want to say like rim protection, because I think Arkansas, obviously a lot of their points came from the paint and came from layups and shots around the post. But I thought Oklahoma had the game plan. The game plan really was, and they called it on the broadcast. They did a good job of calling this out. It really was like, let Acuff do whatever, and just don't, and then just defend everybody else. Because let's just turn this into a one on 5. He could score a bunch of points. Meanwhile, and that's exactly what was happening. And then they kind of started turning it on, and everyone else started getting involved a little bit more. Leak still didn't have a good game. Billy Richmond defensively played really well. Didn't think on offense he played great. He had a few shots that were just questionable. I say a few, probably 2 or 3. Leak 20% tonight, 2 of 10. He was 50%, 2 of 4 outside. Very key threes, big momentum movers there. And Acuff too, 10 of 12 at the free throw line. Arkansas shot. They did exactly what you need to do to win these kind of games. If we really want to talk about why you won this, yes, of course, Acuff. And it was also Acuff, 10 of 12 at the line. Arkansas overall, 18 of 22. 18 of 22. I thought the 3-point, the outside shooting, there are probably 3 or maybe 4 possessions. I thought, no, why was there not more ball movement there? Why are you taking that shot? But you could tell, like, Arkansas really wanted it seemed like for a little bit there, they really wanted to spread open the floor and clean up the looks in the post, because Oklahoma was doing a good job of forcing the issue and just trying to let their everyone else beat them besides someone named Acuff. 7-man rotation tonight by Arkansas. Ewan and Wagner came off the floor. I thought Wagner played really good in the first half, and then I kind of got his minutes cut into in the second half. What did he have in the first half? I have that noted. He had 12 minutes in the first half. He had 5 points. That was 5 fewer minutes than Malik Thomas, and he had 5 more points because, again, Leak had nothing. So, yeah, he played really well. 2 for 2 at the line. He was 50% outside in the first half. That's Wagner. So, first half notes, Acuff shot 70%. Again, that was in the first half, 4 of 7 outside. Leak 0 for 5. Wagner was more effective on both ends of the floor, as I just pointed out. 5 fewer minutes. 5 fewer minutes and ended up with more points than Leak. Hogs crushed on the boards in the first half, 22-14, and OU doubled their offensive boards as well. Both Brazil and Ewan, and this is the part that's so frustrating about this team. It's these three. At times, it is these three. Although some of this was definitely cleaned up in the second half, and this is the area that needed to be highlighted, and they mostly fixed it in the second half. I would say they completely fixed it in the second half because they all of a sudden became monsters. Doing a good job of boxing out and being at the right place at the right time. If you notice, a lot of those long rebounds went OU's way. Well, then once those stopped, Arkansas just started taking off on the boards. But here's what we have in the first half. Both Brazil and Ewan with 2 fouls, both only combined for 5 points, 5 rebounds, include Pringle in the mix, and that's 7 total points and 7 rebounds between all three of Arkansas's bigs. Just pitiful first half performance by the Hogs front court. They fixed that in the second half, and that's what they needed to fix. They got better at crashing the boards, and just overall play, I thought, was better. Ewan still, it's crazy to think that Ewan at times is like, you scratch your head with what this guy's doing. And then another game, the next game, he'll follow that up with like a 14, 16-point game with like 6 rebounds, 3 offensive boards, 1 turnover, and maybe even an assist or 2. Like, that's what he does. He's just this is Ewan all year long, baby, right there. That's Ewan all year long. OU had 22 points in the paint. This was just overall, again, in that first half, it wasn't just the front court. Guards are getting beat off the dribble. The dribble drives are too easy for OU, but you started to see Arkansas clamp that down, and the second half was just a much better overall performance. It was absolutely far better performance in the second half. Okay, I think we got another super chat. Let me pull this up. Fishman, him, a.k.a. Darius Acuff. I have to agree with the 90% of you that have him as the greatest Razorback. I do. And again, even if they go one and done. Now, if he flattens out entirely and vanishes, and I don't see that happening, Al Dillard. Well, but if he crashes out, disappears, vanishes, then maybe just does something we haven't seen him do all year in a negative way, then maybe you start to pull that down. But I think he is, man. He's got to be considered the best. He's the GOAT. Country boy needs to take a Xanax before every game. Dude cries when we aren't up by 10 each game. Oh, okay. What's up, July, with a $2 super chat? Appreciate that. Look at the hearts. Look at you guys. I don't know if that helps the algorithm or not, but look at you guys doing the hearts and the 100s. Look at you. Ty, please tell Billy and Wagner stop shooting threes. They are drivers, not shooters. Wagner, what did he end up doing? We actually haven't gone. Yeah, he was 1 for 3. That's not terrible. Richmond was 0 for 2. I mean, listen, man, these guys can knock down the 3 ball, but I'm like you, though. Wagner is more of a slasher. Wagner finishes at the rim. He's deadly on those freakish layups. He finishes at the rim really well, and Billy Richmond can kind of do a little bit of both. But you're right. I would prefer Richmond to dribble drive. I don't disagree. But nothing like this. We blessed as Hog fans. Okay. David, are you trolling our best player ever? Why? Are you a sadist? Charles, I know you're throwing up some OGs, Clint McDaniel and the like, but dude, I'm sorry, Acuff's got him. It just is. That's just what it is. Y'all gonna be real disappointed soon. Oh yeah, David's okay. There it is. Yeah, David's a Florida fan. Yeah, or an Ole Miss fan, one of the two. There's the link to join Discord if you guys want to get in on it. We just started a new XP cycle. This guy right here won the last one. That's right here. David voted for Bill Clinton. Okay, we're not going into the politics. We're not going there. Second half notes. Far better job crashing the boards in the second half. At one point they just were unstoppable on the rebounds, on the offensive boards. They were in the first half. Arkansas had 3. They had 10 offensive rebounds in the second half alone. I mean, this was just – and they end up winning the rebound battle according to ESPN. I thought OU either tied it or took the lead. but 37 to their 36 according to ESPN. I mean, the numbers were just fantastic. I didn't like Hogs started pulling away, having a 6-point lead. I didn't timestamp it, damn it. But Ewan decides to draw an offensive foul. You know what play I'm talking about, where he's obviously bumping into that dude, trying to knock him over. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. You're finally starting to get into a place where you could stretch the lead out. You're finally getting into a place where you're going to stretch the lead out, and he draws an offensive foul. It's just drives me crazy, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, just screw your head on. I know you get into your emotions a little bit, Ewan, but holy God. Stop. And then of course, the Acuff splash in the final seconds was just a thing of beauty. I did note that OU's Reed walked pretty heavily before feeding Tay Davis for a semi-open three. SEC officials missed a crucial call. That was a momentum shifting, I can't believe, right in front of that official. I don't know. I shouldn't be surprised by that. It was just so pitiful. Okay, we're going to the stat sheet, and we're about to name our gold chain, post-game gold chain, brought to you by Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. OU shot 45%, 29-65, 4 of 16. Of course, they did all their damage inside. They were 4 of 16 outside, sorry. And then 17 of 20. They shot insane at the free throw line. 17 of 20, that's 85%. They had a really nice assist to turnover ratio, 16 assists to 8 turnovers, 2-to-1 number there. 3 steals, 3 blocks, 11 offensive rebounds, 18 fouls. Arkansas ends up shooting worse here overall, just by 1%, 28 of 64, 44%. But their shot selection cleaned up a little bit. Mostly, I mean, again, thanks to you-know-who, Mr. Acuff, who would go 5 of 9. But 8 of 21 for 38%, 18 of 22, again, outside, 8 of 21 from 3-point land. And then 18 of 22, 82% at the free throw line. That is fantastic. Chef's kiss. That's a huge reason why Arkansas won this game. They win the rebound battle. Again, I kind of want to – I don't really – tomorrow I'm not going to give a damn, but I am curious if that – I thought OU tied it, but whatever. Because at one point I swear it said 36 or 37 up, tied in rebound, and then I look and it was 36. Maybe I just – it is late. It is like midnight right now. Arkansas 13 assists to 7 turnovers. Again, OU was probably looking at their assist to turnover ratio going, oh, my God, we went 16 and 8. We went 16 and 8. We were 85% from the line, from the free throw line. We shot about 46%, and these guys still beat us. It just goes to show you how good Arkansas is. But Arkansas goes 13-7, almost 2-1. 7 steals, 7 blocks, 13 offensive rebounds. There you go. Acuff, 11 of 21 overall shooting, 37 points, 5 of 9 outside, 10 of 12 at the line, 5 boards, 5 assists, just 2 turnovers, and 3 steals with an offensive board. You know what? We got to do something special for this one. The post-game gold chain MVP. Right there. Right there. Did you see that? See that? Darius Acuff. Darius Acuff. Run it back. The post-game gold chain MVP. That's right. Darius Acuff, son. Right there. Post-game. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. We knew it. You guys knew it. You knew it. It was coming. Acuff is the man. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Acuff is the best guard ever, says Charles Taylor. If Vandy beats Florida, Lord have mercy, we are champs, says Pigpen. Yeah. Yeah. Ty, SEC Network, Damon Fishback said Acuff should be drafted number 1. I told you guys, they're having that conversation about him. They're having that conversation about him. It is absolutely incredible. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. David, are you about to get timed out? What's going on? I can't read these comments. I can. Okay, so I think David is he's either a troll or I'm reading his deleted messages or his blocked messages here. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just put him in timeout. Let's give him let's do that. Or sorry, David. Ugh. See ya. Bye-bye. Get out of here. Ty, let's cast a spell on Florida to make them lose to Vandy. Yeah. David had too many White Claws. Brian Bart says OU deserves at least an at-large bid. Hats off. They played hard. Happy the Hogs got the win. Yeah, listen, you got to give them their flowers, bro. You have got to give Oklahoma their flowers. I'm just going to say it. They didn't lie down. Arkansas's got the best player in the country, arguably one of the best, at least top 4, top 3 players in the country. This is one of the most prolific offenses in college basketball, and they showed up. And, yeah, Arkansas, you could say OU's probably a little tired, and Arkansas's coming in with some rust. Whatever. It was a good game. I love that they swept OU. I like it when you sweep teams, when you get a couple dubs. You swept Missouri. That was a thing of beauty. I'd prefer that be Texas, but whatever. There's some head-scratching losses on the year for sure. But this is just chef's kiss, the way you go into this SEC tournament. You're probably one of the hottest teams in college basketball, and there you go, They're playing at a level that we kind of had a feel. I mean, this is right into Coach Cal's territory. This is what he does. His teams, they have that knack of getting better. Put Acuff first in the draft already, says Brim. Yes, sir. I'd have no problem with him being the first pick. I'm not going to even say anything. I don't know where he goes. NBA draft can be crazy. We know he's at the very least, he's a lottery pick, but we know he's way better than that. Ty, would you agree playing 3 games before Madness instead of one and done helps us more? Boy, I don't know. You can't just listen. I'm not opposed to playing more games. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with Arkansas playing more games. I did say I would prefer Acuff just sit and rest, but the more you think about it, that might be you just may not want to do that, and not it's just simply because he's Himothy, not just because he's Himothy, but he needs to be in a rhythm. Although you can also make the same damn argument. This dude he was out the Mizzou game, and he came in, and everyone else looked like they were full of rust. I don't know. I don't know what the right move is. It's with Acuff, and as far as playing more games, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know what the best. I'll say this. I'm glad they're not a one and done. I'm glad they're at least not a one and done in the SEC tournament. I'm at least glad for that. At least you got a game under your belt, right? Boy, my hair's coming. Hold on. All right. Ken Palm sucks ass. They have us behind Tennessee. Brim, what are we gonna do with them? Unbiased Brim, sir. Mitch is in chat. He says shit. Everyone else, quote unquote, better than us, still playing. Let's play with them to prove we're. That's a good argument too, Mitch. Not a bad argument at all. Ty, let's see. I bet Ole Miss will be fatigued after halftime tomorrow. Yeah, listen. Pull this up. Melissa, can you pull this up for me? What about Jamie? Jamie, pull this up. Where's it at? There it is. Thank you, Jamie. Look at this run that Ole Miss had to go on. Look at this. I don't think anyone really thought Ole Miss was better than Texas. They beat Texas and beat them by 10. And then they got to beat one of the fastest teams in college basketball, and they win that one. They beat Georgia, close game, and then they beat Alabama. Dude, you now got to play Arkansas, who's arguably more talented than Georgia and just as fast. And you've played three games in 3 days. You're going to play 4 games in 4 days. That's what's brutal about this. That's what's brutal. And listen, man, no one cares. No one cares. Did you guys watch Kentucky, Florida today? Did you watch that? Florida looked like shit. Like, and Tim and Travis and I were talking, and Tim was like, this is not because of Kentucky. This is Florida. I think it was a little bit of a mix. I thought Kentucky did try to leave as much as they could on the floor, which, tip the cap to them. But, yeah, at the end of the day, it was definitely Florida. I agree with Tim. Florida did not look good, and they were a double-bye team, right? They were a double-bye team. Vanderbilt did get by Tennessee, but then you had Alabama, who's a double-bye. They went down. And Ole Miss has got the hardest march to game 15 if they were to get by Arkansas. It's the hardest. Like Vanderbilt, Florida are both double buys, right? Those teams are both double buys. Ole Miss is going, if they do sneak past Arkansas, and listen, Beard has these guys. I don't know what it is about him in postseason play. I can't figure it out. And last year, I'm not going to make any comments about whether or not they're – I mean, listen, they beat Arkansas last year. But there's something about Beard in postseason play. He gets the most out of every one of those guys. I don't know what to make of tomorrow in terms of – I don't even know if I want to pick a winner. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, just here now. I mean, of course, that's probably going to be the prediction. But I feel like 90% of everyone's going to pick Arkansas. And I would lean towards Arkansas winning this game simply because Ole Miss has been through the ringer. Been through the the ringer. There it is again. For anybody curious, there it is again. That's the ESPN bracket. But I would lean towards Arkansas, but man, it's something about Beard in postseason play. You just never know. I don't know that anybody in here would have picked Alabama to drop that game to Ole Miss. I mean, like I said, SEC tournament, you just don't know what to expect, and obviously the big dance is the same way. We got more super chats here. David can't cope with Pope. Fake fans is July. Wearing number 5 at Arkansas gives you superpowers, says Brady Lewis. One day YouTube's going to let me put those on the screen. Ty's got them Roman Reign locks. My wife hates it. My wife is like, you need to cut that hair. You guys are going to catch me. I'm gonna be at Super Clips or whatever it's called, Super Cuts. Finally get my hair cut. And I'm going to hate it. Yeah, it's 2:30 our time. That is, I think that's right. Yeah, 2:30 our time. We're not getting completely off basketball here, but I got to say to all the doomsday sayers about Arkansas baseball and how we're going to get swept this weekend, I don't know, man. I think Arkansas is going to win this series. Did you see what he did at shortstop? What Dave Van Horn did at shortstop? Putting Kojal at shortstop? What? I didn't see that coming. Pompey. Oh, man. Do you guys want to see what happened? Let me see if I can pull this up here. There's an extra step with OBS, but hold on. Let me see if I can pull this. Where's it at? Is it going to let me do it? There it is. That's what happened to the victims of Pompeii. Ball knowers will understand this. Yuck. Someone's like, what the hell? What is that? Know your history. If Hogs win SEC tourney, Ty gets a mullet. Oh, no chance, dude. July, listen, I know where you live, and my wife will have me drive her to your location, to your residence, and she'll want me to hold you down so she could shave your head. There ain't no way I'm going to be able to do the mullet. I would do it. I would do it. I would. It'd be funny, but wife would kill me. If Arkansas makes it to the Final Four, Ty has to shave his head. Book it. Y'all are trying to get me killed. Trying to get me killed. Yeah, Ole Miss again. This is going to be they should be exhausted. They should be tired. I mean, it's Arkansas. It's in Arkansas's favor, -8.5. They have played kind of out of their minds. I mean, I say kind of, like they've been playing at a very high level. Very impressed with their surge in this game against Alabama. Camerdine, whatever the hell, I always pronounce that wrong. He had a really good game. Some great looks, great shots. This guy kind of going off. James Scott had 10 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, a couple of offensive boards against Bama. Alabama, though, the problem with Alabama, and I noticed this with Florida. One of the things that has lifted Florida and watching them play this year is their 3-point shooting. When Florida when Fland or Lee can get it going and they start to open up the lanes to the rim, their guards and their front court, especially their front court, just take games over when they start splashing threes. I mean, their numbers jumped like 12% through SEC play outside. That's kind of ridiculous, actually. Alabama, it's not any different. Now, they took 29 threes, and Ole Miss wanted to prevent – they didn't want them shooting 35-plus threes. They didn't want to give it to them. They knew that would put them in a tough spot. And they hold Alabama. I mean, not for them, this is not good. 9 of 29, that's 31%. Knock it down 9 threes. A lot of teams would be okay with that, right? And I don't know about the 29 attempts, but depending obviously on their makeup and their team's identity. But Alabama and then they shot 41% from the floor. Ole Miss shot better than they did everywhere except the free throw line. And Alabama took 20. They took 10 more shots at the charity stripe than Ole Miss did. It was interesting. That second half was interesting. I thought Alabama was going to find a way to pull it out, and obviously they didn't. Ole Miss beat them on the boards, 42-30. What was it? 30 something, 35, 36. There it is. 14 assists to 5 turnovers for Alabama, but 14-9 for Ole Miss. And they still find a way. Ole Miss was just better. Their shot selection outside was better. Overall shooting shot selection was better. I didn't watch the entire first half. Kind of was flipping back and forth between a couple of things on Hulu, but on basketball games and everything else. But watched most of the second half, and I thought the shot selection in the second half was cleaned up big time by Ole Miss. Like Ole Miss could be a problem, man, and they could force you to take some bad shots and have some bad looks. This is a Beard coach team, and they actually look like it in postseason play. Again, their big question is having to play 4 games in 4 days, and Arkansas obviously likes the up tempo. That's going to be a huge disadvantage for Ole Miss. This is not a good situation. In fact, I'm a little surprised the spread isn't a little bigger. I'm surprised it's not like 10.5 to 12.5, something like that. I would lean towards Arkansas winning this game. You just never know, man. Sometimes teams get on a heater and they don't drop off. Now, unfortunately for Ole Miss, I don't see them beating Florida even if they get past Arkansas. I don't know that I would see them, and I know Vanderbilt seems a little bit weaker than what they once were. But Vanderbilt still does play pretty good ball. And I don't know, because you're talking about they're going to end up playing one way or another. They're playing a team like Arkansas who's coming off a double bye, and the same thing can be said for Vanderbilt and Florida if Ole Miss were to slip past Arkansas. So I don't know that I see Ole Miss winning at all. But what a hell of a ride, though. Don't write them off. Like I said, it's Beard. I could be entirely wrong. Ole Miss is playing insane basketball right now. They really are. They're playing really good ball. I watched a little bit of their first game, so like they clearly look in the Texas game wasn't always clean for them, but they beat Texas, and then you pick up you miss a big chunk of the Ole Miss Georgia game, then you look up towards the final minutes and it's 70, whatever it was, to 70. They won by like 5 or 6 points, whatever it was. And it was like, okay, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And then you watch that Alabama game and you see how it's all kind of pieced together for them. They're just playing a really, it's a Cinderella story in the SEC. The 15 seed in the tournament is now playing in game 14, playing in the semifinals. That's just crazy. Yeah, Ole Miss just doesn't have the horses. They went to they ended up playing like 10 guys against Bama. Let me pull that up. 1, 2, yeah, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they rotated 10, and they got every one of them got at least 5 minutes. So they can definitely go deeper than you can. They just don't have your kind of talent. They definitely don't. They definitely don't have an Acuff. But that's obviously going to be a question for them, right? Like, you're worn down, and you've got to deal with guys like Acuff and Richmond. Richmond, who's just like a ball of electricity. Yeah, good luck, man. I don't know. Would be cool to win an SEC tournament. Well, I'll say this. I still don't know that I like anybody beating Florida. Your path to the SEC championship got a little bit simpler. I would rather have played Ole Miss than Bama, only because of the amount of games they've had to play. I'm not saying that because I think for sure Arkansas is going to win this game. I think they probably should, but like I said, anything can happen. Very impressed with Ole Miss. But, of course, you want the team that's played a little more basketball lately. It might be a little worn thin, someone who hasn't watched a single Ole Miss game, trust me, we got this game, says MJ. What's up, William Phillips? How you doing, man? How you doing? Florida is due for a loss somewhere. I did think that today they looked like shit. Watching them play, I just kept saying to myself, well, this is rust. This is rust. And if that's true, and they pick it up against Vanderbilt and beat the hell out of Vanderbilt, then there you go, right? Now, if they have another game, or who knows, man, maybe Vanderbilt maybe it's Vanderbilt that we're not talking enough about. I would take Arkansas over Vandy, but there's also this other thing where the coaching staff of the players deep down are like, okay, we got another one in this SEC tournament, whatever. They're ready for March, and that's the other side of this too that I don't think we talk enough about, honestly. Another $5 super chat. Look at them coming in. What is this one? Arkansas baseball, Pompey walk-off homer. It's a great day, isn't it? What a Friday. Arkansas basketball, Acuff game winner, and USA baseball beats Canada. What a day. Oh, no. I hope Megan's not in chat. MJ 501 drunk pig. Okay. We've only won the SEC championship one time. Yeah, just once. Worth noting, says Celtics, this is Mitchell, Celtics for Life 487. Worth noting, Vandy and Florida played in Nashville in January. UF won by 4 off an insane Xavion Lee shot. Vandy has a legitimate shot tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Vandy is capable of upsetting them. They are. Florida today did not look good, like I mentioned. But when you look at their body of work lately, guys, they've just played at the highest level of anybody, maybe even in most of college basketball. The last time these guys lost, and it was a head scratcher, it was to Auburn. It's one of those games. It's just so weird. That was January, at the end of January, the 24th. 24th. Is the last time these guys lost. And they beat the hell out of Alabama 100-70. I guess it's not, a complete frog stomp. Well, no, yeah, that is. That's a complete frog stomping. It is. They went to A&M, and this is before A&M really turned to shit, but they beat them 86-something, 67. They went to Georgia, beat them by 20. They beat Kentucky. The list goes on and on. They beat the hell out of Ole Miss. Obviously, they frog stomped Arkansas 111-77. They're just I don't know. To me, they are human, and Kentucky kind of showed that in this game today. Kentucky kind of showed that for sure, that they are human. They can come back down to earth. And let's not forget, this is the same team that, lost to Missouri earlier in the year. Like I said, they lost to Auburn. They lost to both Duke and UConn. They lost to TCU. They lost to Arizona, who was barely top 15 at the time. Nobody really knew what to make of what Florida was. And then since that Auburn loss, they just completely turned it around and haven't lost since. So, obviously it's like I said, it's them being able to stretch the floor. I would argue you're defending their guards might actually be key. Not allowing so many open threes. Contest all those shots. Don't leave your feet when defending the perimeter. Stay on them like white on rice, because their front court's going to do what their front court's going to do. I don't know that you can match. I mean, definitely, they're tough to match up with anybody, but especially Arkansas. Again, we're talking hypothetically if Arkansas were to play Florida, I guess. But just in general, though, I keep thinking that I have in the back of my head Arkansas's playing. I'm getting a game ahead of myself. But if Arkansas were to play Florida, that's going to be the key. And that's the key for Vanderbilt. Don't let Xavion Lee. Boogie Flan at times is a really good two-way player. He's been a really good defender as a guard. But if he heats up on offense, if Xavion Lee heats up on offense, the rest takes care of itself for Florida. Very, very physical. A team that's going to mismatch you around the post. You just do the thing that slows them down. Now, when you bring them back down to earth, it's when you can match up with their guards. Because you're not going to match up with that front court. You're just not. You almost feel like, that might be the approach to take on Arkansas, right? Like just try to contain Acuff. The way Arkansas's rest of that team played today, it wasn't great. And then they picked it up as the game went on. But it really did feel like for a while it was just Acuff versus everybody, which is, that's just kind of how it is, did we get another super chat? Is that another one? Nope, not another one. Okay. Man, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 super chats tonight. 3 of them $5 super chats. You guys are awesome. Surprised I didn't get banned for my Florida coach comment. I didn't see it, Rocky Roberts. Slop and probably have what? What? What are we talking about, Justin? The contrarian, Justin, has to argue with everything I say. Michael Perry, the guy that always doubts the Hawks. Acuff with the first ever 37. Okay, all right, we got some additional info on this game. Acuff with the first ever 37-plus point, 5-plus rebound, 5-plus assists, and 3-plus steals in Arkansas basketball history, and did it in the SEC tournament. Yeah, just another reason right there. Give this man first-team All-American now. There it is, just another bloop. Give him his flowers. Acuff is first-team All-American, correct? Yeah. Yes. In my book. Hey, guys. Appreciate you for hopping in here. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. When the Razorbacks win, people get financially friendly. Laugh out loud. Well, hey, turn that into Patreon. Sign up for Patreon. Tuss Talk with Ty Patreon. Ty, has anyone won the chain more than Acuff? I don't think so. I really don't. Is Michael Perry an Ole Miss fan? Go cry after Ole Miss win. Michael Perry, I'm assuming your name is familiar. I think you are an Ole Miss fan. Hey, great postseason play by you guys for sure. Great postseason play. Acuff scored nearly 40 on 21 shots. That's efficiency, and he doesn't turn the ball over. Nope, he doesn't. He's the talk of the town, and I love it because it's taken away from Florida. It's taken away from everything else. It's all anyone wants to talk about is Darius Acuff, and I love it. I love it. And, of course, he's also the post-game gold chain MVP. That's right. No Kentucky fan. Oh, that makes all the sense in the world. At least you're honest. He's can't say that. No, I don't know if anyone has won the gold chain more than Acuff. That automatically qualifies him as the greatest hooper ever at Arkansas, right? That's it. That's all you need. Hey, the poll is up. It's settled. Acuff, greatest Razorback hooper ever. 90% of you say yes. 10% of you say no. Take the poll if you haven't already. Appreciate you, Ty. God bless. Everyone go Hogs. Woo damn pig. Hype this video, y'all. Hey, I appreciate you. That's right. Hype this live stream up, man. Join Patreon. Join it. Do it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? There you go. I don't know if we're going to do post-game live or post-game comment, questions, whatever for the post live. I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but who does win between Vanderbilt and Florida? I feel like a lot of you will say Florida, and I'm with you. I agree. But Florida, again, they did struggle. They were on the struggle bus against Kentucky. If they knocked the rust off and that's all that was, then, yeah, I for sure think they're going to get past Vanderbilt. Remember, Vanderbilt was also a double bye. They only played, Tennessee, played them well. Ain't that some shit? They got matched up with Tenor and won because Tennessee beat Auburn. Listen, Auburn, who won one game in the SEC tournament, they lost by 10 to Tennessee. Tennessee advanced to take on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt wins 75-68. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. or I'm sorry, noon. My bad, noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Vanderbilt and Florida. And to be honest with you, that's a big game because that's the 1 and the 4 playing each other. But Acuff, they're just in Acuff's shadow. Let's just call it like it is. They're both in Acuff's shadow. It's all about Acuff in this tournament. I mean, yeah, they're going to talk about Florida, blah, 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 but it's all about Acuff. Let's just be real. He has stolen the show. You have to, Ty. I have to what? What do I got to do? Do you think when Acuff plays, others play with the same intensity? Thomas played like his life was on the line against Mizzou. Some games in general, it just doesn't seem that way. Well, I don't know. I listen. They looked good without him against Missouri, and again, Missouri, a team that really good, probably one of the top 4 teams in the SEC at home, as far as like just a home team. Arkansas went in there without Acuff, and those guys they were firing on all cylinders for the most part. Played really good ball, and took that game over and won. I don't know. Listen. It's not like we haven't seen league ball. With Acuff on the floor. It's just that he is also in Acuff's shadow. Acuff is having a year that's just insane. All eyes will be on Acuff tomorrow. Arkansas game has odds of being most watched between the 2 semifinal games, says Transplanted Texan. Wow. Vanderbilt sneaks up and gets the win tomorrow, says Brian Barton. Florida is focused on the NCAA tournament, and that is a thing. I don't disagree. That is a thing, man. Weems is – what are you – who is lab work? Are you saying Weems is better than Hood and Albert? Those are good – listen, you're naming off good players, man. They're not better than Acuff. Lee Wilson. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what lab work is doing. If you're saying those guys are better than Acuff, I'm sorry. I just disagree. They're not. Great players. I don't know. Is that what he's doing? Someone in chat help me out. Is lab work? Yeah, I'm just going to have to disagree. I don't like Arkansas, but I think I'd only favor about 5 other teams in the nation over y'all. Oh, boy, that is a whole nother discussion. I would definitely have Arkansas in the top 10. Top 12, top 10, somewhere in there. I still think their ceiling is likely Elite 8. The thing that holds them back, and this is me taking off the blinders, okay? I'm taking off the Razorback hat and the Razorback, Cardinal red tinted goggles. Their defense, their front court and their defense, for me, keeps them out of the Final Four and borderline keeps them out of the Elite 8 because it is some of the worst I have seen. The flip side of that is you've got the greatest Razorback to ever play. Leak Thomas is no damn slouch. Billy Richmond, although didn't have the game we all thought he would have today, has been a proven badass towards the end of those last 6 or 7 games in the regular season. Wagner can slice to the rim. He could be he could be a presence there. He's a decent two-way player, probably the second best two-way player on the floor, or at least the second best defender on the floor. Brazil alters shots, blocks shots. It can clean up his own damn play around the rim apparently, and can stretch the floor, and that's great. But, it's just their defense for me that's still, that's me taking the goggles off and saying, okay, if you're asking me why I don't put them as a for sure top, 6, top 8 team in the country, that would be why. Their defense, guys, it at times it is just so bad. And they called it out, and I love that they called it out. Too much ball watching, too much standing around, Ewan getting lost in the post and around the rim, not knowing what to do, seeing guys just stand there on defense. It's frustrating to me. It's like football. Did the defense do anything? Did they practice? What do they do? Why were they so bad? It's pretty damn bad for basketball. But again, we have seen them take steps in the right direction. I want to see them do that against higher quality teams, though. And I just don't have the faith. Because once you get, you can get matched up with someone pretty damn tough depending on your seeding in the second damn round. In the second damn round, you could have a high-quality opponent. And then you get into the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, and all of a sudden you're playing the big dogs, the big dogs, the guys that could push you around, make you look like a bunch of little shit chimps, I was going to say chumps. Shit chumps. Bunch of chumps. It is 12:30 at night. You're going to have to grant me some leeway. But their offense is the best. It's the best I've ever seen. That's what's crazy. It is so crazy how similar it is to football. The difference is far better product on the court compared to what they put on the field. Far better. Lindsey Howell, yeah. We are Final Four locks, says Brady. Brady, you and I both know you're a homer. We both know you are. God love you. I don't know. I would not say they're Final Four lock, not even close. Sweet 16 lock, I'm all in on that. Elite 8, they're knocking on the door for me to be a lock as an Elite 8 team, how good they play on offense. That's all I'm saying. Labwork says, just name an old school players, not saying they're better, bro. Okay. Well, you were just typing random ass names. How the hell was I supposed to know that, Labwork? How the hell? I can't read your mind, bro. How am I supposed to know that, man? Not if y'all play like today, though. I'm going on y'all's ceiling when playing near your best. Yeah. Yeah, they got to play. It's got to be, I don't know, like the way they played Vanderbilt, It's got to be crazy, a pretty high level of ball for me to say that they're a top 5, top 6 team in the country. But again, they are capable. They are. Arkansas not a Final Four team, dude. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. I agree. I don't know if Michael, if you're talking to me, but yeah, no, I was agreeing. Muss might get fired if he's bad next year. Yeah, they're bad this year, man. 2 years in a row. Last 3 years, Musselman has missed the tournament. 3 years since he sniffed the tournament. Maybe the grass was greener in Fayetteville. Or find our defense to Steve. Yeah, if they play. Listen, they just got to play. Just play average defense, man. Just be average on defense. Hell, you could go so far, and that's what's crazy. That's how close they are. You know, that's how close they are. Just believe me, Ty. It's 12:30 a.m. After an Acuff. Yeah, dude, I'm on fumes right now. I'm on fumes with a little bit of like the last bit of nitrous in my system, aka adrenaline. And it's about over. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think they're Final Four. Y'all will either lose first weekend or go Elite Eight. I don't see you losing in the middle rounds. It's going to take a lot. Well, you just never know. They are matchup dependent. Make no mistake about it. Arkansas is a matchup dependent team. No doubt about it. Even slightly below defense would take us far. That tells you how good the offense is and how bad the defense has been. Anything can happen in March, dude. Anything can happen in March, you know? I'm not buying that it's going to be all one seeds in the Final Four this year. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. So, yeah, still think we'll be a 5 seed. Pigpen wants to know. Well, beating Ole Miss doesn't do anything for you. I think they're locked at 5 unless they win the SEC championship. I think they're locked at 5. I do. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Did you ever do a Taylen Green reaction video? What do you mean a Taylen Green reaction video? What does that mean? For what? Talking about like the combine? We talked about it on a live show. I don't think any of the 12 or 13 will stop Acuff. That's also true. Best thing that can happen is Arkansas gets the 5 and the 4 gets upset, and the 1 seed is Duke. We can beat banged up Duke. Should have beat them fully healthy. Listen, Arkansas led in that game on 2 different occasions by nearly double digits. They led by 8. I think it was either 8 or 9 points in the first half, and then they led by 7 or 8 points in the second half. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Duke for a little while, but then once they kind of took over, that was it. The combine. No, I didn't do a reaction to his combine. I should have, and I didn't. I probably could have gone to the pro day today had I put in for it, but I didn't. That was today, right? Am I tripping? Am I dreaming right now? I feel like I'm tripping balls. I'm so tired. Okay. I think I'm going to end it here. Yeah, combine was today. Yeah, I got the email. I didn't go. I didn't put in for it, and I didn't go. I could have to get some footage. It's always fun. Pro days are fun to go to. It's really cool. We get to see family members and stuff, get to talk to people, kind of rub elbows a little bit with agents, or not agents, sorry, scouts. They're there. They got their lanyards with their team. You know, it's pretty cool. I'm so glad Taylen is gone with his 6 wins in 2 years. Fish, are you putting all the losses on Taylen Green, Fish? Come on, dude. That defense has something to say, my friend. All right, that's it. We'll be live again tomorrow, man. Hopefully I'm well rested. But appreciate everyone. Let's put it into this poll. There you go. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than the best in Central Arkansas. Give them a call, 501-244-3667. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Yeah. All right. That is it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out. please consider joining Patreon. If you're a $4 member, I don't know, consider jumping up. Do something, please. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? And again, shout out to Acuff winning yet another post-game Gold Chain MVP. I'm going to take Arkansas over Ole Miss. I'll have that prediction up, if not tonight, tomorrow. The double XP amount will obviously be low. Only probably going to need 20 picks. So I might try to get that done before I go to bed tonight. But that's it. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you again tomorrow. Same place, same channel, right here on Tuss Talk with Ty. So stay tuned for another post game tomorrow, late afternoon. See you guys.